November 12, 2016. Memorial of St. Josaphat, Bishop and Martyr.
A reading from the third letter of St. John. Beloved, you are faithful in all you do for the brothers and sisters, especially for strangers. They have testified to your love before the Church. Please, help them in a way worthy of God to continue their journey, for they have set out for the sake of the name and are accepting nothing from the pagans. Therefore, we ought to support such persons, so that we may be co-workers in the truth. The word of the Lord.
The responsorial psalm. The response is, Blessed the man who fears the Lord. Blessed the man who fears the Lord, who greatly delights in his commands. His posterity shall be mighty upon the earth. The upright generation shall be blessed. Blessed the man who fears the Lord. Wealth and riches shall be in his house. His generosity shall endure forever. Light shines through the darkness for the upright. He is gracious and merciful and just. Blessed the man who fears the Lord. Well for the man who is gracious and lends, who conducts his affairs with justice. He shall never be moved. The just one shall be in everlasting remembrance. Blessed the man who fears the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus told his disciples a parable about the necessity for them to pray always without becoming weary. He said, There was a judge in a certain town who neither feared God nor respected any human being. And a widow in that town used to come to him and say, Render a just decision for me against my adversary. For a long time the judge was unwilling, but eventually he thought, While it is true that I neither fear God nor respect any human being, because this widow keeps bothering me, I shall deliver a just decision for her, lest she finally come and strike me. The Lord said, Pay attention to what the dishonest judge says. Will not God then secure the rights of his chosen ones who call out to him day and night? Will he be slow to answer them? I tell you, he will see to it that justice is done for them speedily. But when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? The Gospel of the Lord.
November 12th, the Memorial of St. Josaphat. The first reading comes from 3 John, verses 5 to 8. Like 2 John, this letter is the length of a sheet of papyrus. It's a very short letter, so it doesn't have chapter divisions. In this letter, John encourages the community to help the missionaries that he has sent on their way for the sake of the gospel. That they shouldn't have to seek funds from pagans. Rather, they should be supported by people who hold on to the truth. Now, that's one word that appears over and over again in the letters of John, the truth. Remember, yesterday we saw how some of the people have fallen into the heresy of Docetism, believing that Jesus and Christ are two separate beings, that God could never become incarnate. Well, the missionaries who have been sent out by John preach the truth. They should be respected. This is a reminder that we should also feel responsible for the mission of the gospel, whether it be missionaries in foreign countries or those who support our mission here in our country, the youth ministers in our parish, the catechists, those who go out to the soup kitchen and preach the gospel in deeds. We should support them. The gospel comes from Luke 18, 1-8. This is the parable of the evil judge, that even though he doesn't give the rights to a widow who nags him, because he's a just person, he'll give it because he can't stand her nagging. This is an example that Jesus gives on how we should pray. It's the idea that we should insist to God for those things which we need. Jewish people call this chutzpah. It's a certain nerviness, a certain pushiness. I love the psalm that says, God, I'm really sick. You better heal me quick, because if I die, it's going to look bad for you. That's a little bit over the top, but that's typically how Jewish people pray, because they believe that God is a real person who wants to listen to them. But they want to talk to God in a real relationship, not telling God what they think he wants to hear, but rather being honest with him. Now, admittedly, chutzpah has to be followed by acceptance, by surrender. But if we begin our prayers with whatever you want, God, I'll accept, and we don't really say what we want and what we need, that'll be in our heart and we won't feel as if we've received a full listening. But if we tell God exactly what we need, not what we want, what we need, then God will give us what is good for us. Not necessarily what we want, but what we truly need. And may God bless us.